Today, we're diving into NASA's exciting and historic Artemis program. Known as the mission to return to the moon, Artemis holds the potential to launch a new era for humanity. In this video, we'll explore the goals of the Artemis program, the progress made so far, and what exciting missions lie ahead. Why are we returning to the moon? Since the historic Apollo 11 landing in 1969, our interest in the moon has never waned. However, this time, we aim to go beyond just stepping on the lunar surface. The Artemis program is set out to establish a permanent human presence on the moon and pave the way for human missions to Mars and beyond. In this video, we will detail the three main Artemis missions: Artemis I, Artemis II, and Artemis III. We will also discuss the Gateway Lunar Orbit Station, plans for establishing permanent bases on the moon, and international collaborations. Together, we will explore the scientific opportunities, technological advancements, and challenges presented by the Artemis program. Let's get started and see where the Artemis program will take us. The Artemis program aims not just to return to the lunar surface, but also to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon. The first critical step toward this goal is to return to the moon with both manned and unmanned missions. These missions will explore previously uncharted regions, such as the lunar South Pole, and investigate lunar resources. Another critical goal is to establish a permanent base on the moon. This base will serve as a center for scientific research and as a staging point for future Mars missions. To achieve this goal, the Artemis program is working on advanced life support systems, construction techniques, and sustainable energy solutions. Additionally, the Artemis program aims to explore the potential for utilizing resources on the moon and other celestial bodies. This includes extracting valuable resources like lunar ice and using them both in situ and for return to Earth. Scientific research is also a major goal of the program. Studying samples from the lunar surface, understanding the moon's geological history, and investigating its subsurface structure are key components of the Artemis missions. Lastly, the Artemis program seeks to promote international collaboration in space exploration, bringing together scientists and engineers from different countries to work on joint projects. These collaborations are crucial for the success of lunar and beyond explorations. These broad goals of the Artemis program are not just about returning to the moon, but also about ushering in a new era in space exploration. The first step of the Artemis program, Artemis I, is planned as an unmanned test flight. This mission lays the foundation for our journey back to the moon and is critical for future manned missions. Artemis I will launch using NASA's most powerful rocket, the Space Launch System, SLS. This rocket is capable of carrying large payloads to the moon and will be the backbone of future Artemis missions. The SLS rocket is the most powerful rocket ever built by NASA and will be used to safely and successfully reach the moon. The primary goal of this mission is to send the Orion spacecraft to the moon and safely return it to Earth. Orion is a spacecraft designed for human spaceflight and equipped with modern technologies. During Artemis I, all systems and performance of Orion will be tested. These tests will provide critical data for the safety and success of future manned missions. Artemis I will last approximately 3 weeks, during which Orion will orbit the moon in a distant retrograde orbit. During this time, the spacecraft's communication, navigation, and life support systems will be meticulously evaluated. Additionally, lunar landing and return scenarios will also be tested during this mission. This unmanned test flight is a crucial preparation phase for the Artemis II and Artemis III missions. The successful completion of Artemis I will pave the way for crewed flights and bring us one step closer to our goal of returning to the moon. The preparation for Artemis I involves meticulous engineering work and extensive testing. The assembly, integration, and testing of the rocket and spacecraft are being carried out at various NASA facilities. These processes are conducted with great care to ensure no issues arise, and the mission is completed successfully. The second major step of the Artemis program, Artemis II, is planned as a crewed test flight, marking an important milestone in bringing humans back to the moon. This mission will open the doors to crewed lunar return and build on the data obtained from Artemis I. One of the main objectives of Artemis II is to test the performance of the Orion spacecraft in crewed missions. 4 astronauts will travel to lunar orbit aboard Orion. This will be the first time since 1972 that humans have traveled this close to the moon. Another important objective of the mission is to evaluate the crew carrying capacity and safety of the SLS rocket. This rocket is designed for crewed missions and has been developed to ensure the highest level of crew safety. Artemis Descent will verify the capabilities and safety measures of the SLS rocket in crewed missions. The Artemis II mission will last approximately 10 days, during which the crew will orbit the moon in a distant retrograde orbit. During this time, Orion's life support systems, communication systems, and navigation systems will be meticulously evaluated. Astronauts will simulate lunar landing and return scenarios, and these tests will provide critical data for the future Artemis III mission. The crew selection will be made from NASA's most experienced and skilled astronauts. These astronauts will undergo an intensive training program to acquire all the necessary skills for the successful completion of Artemis II. The training program will cover the use of spacecraft systems, emergency procedures, and conducting scientific experiments. Artemis Descent will be a significant milestone for human space exploration and will take all necessary steps to ensure the safe and successful execution of the lunar return mission. This mission will lay the groundwork for Artemis III and enable the first woman and first person of color to land on the moon. The third and most historic step of the Artemis program, Artemis III, will be a significant milestone for humanity. This mission will not only mark our return to the moon, but also enable the first woman and first person of color to set foot on the lunar surface. This step holds great significance for space exploration and societal progress. The Artemis III mission will send a crew of 4 astronauts to the moon. Among these astronauts will be the first woman and the first person of color to land on the lunar surface. This selection reflects NASA's commitment to diversity and inclusion. This mission aims to ensure representation in space exploration and inspire future generations. One of the most important objectives of the mission is to land at the lunar South Pole. This region is of great scientific significance due to the potential presence of lunar ice. Lunar ice is a critical resource for future lunar missions, as it can be used for drinking water and producing rocket fuel. Therefore, the Artemis III mission aims to investigate lunar water resources and evaluate their potential. The astronauts will spend approximately 1 week on the lunar surface. During this time, they will conduct various scientific experiments and research. Geological samples from the lunar surface will be collected, providing valuable information about the moon's formation and evolution. Additionally, data on the utilization of natural resources and the establishment of future settlements will be gathered. The Artemis III mission will also mark a significant step toward establishing a permanent human presence on the moon. Astronauts will test habitats and life support systems on the lunar surface. These experiments are crucial for developing the necessary infrastructure for future lunar bases and long-term human missions. This historic mission is eagerly anticipated worldwide. The landing of the first woman and first person of color on the moon will usher in a new era in space exploration and serve as a major milestone for scientific, technological, and societal advancements. A key component of the Artemis program, the Gateway Lunar Orbit Station, will play a critical role in crewed missions to the moon and beyond. This modular space station will provide a continuous human presence in lunar orbit, serving as a preparation point for future deep space explorations. Gateway is designed as a multi-purpose platform. Initially, it will serve as a transit point for crewed missions to the moon and Mars. Astronauts will use Gateway as a staging area for lunar surface missions and return journeys. This will make lunar landing and ascent processes more efficient and safe. The modular structure of Gateway allows for expansion through contributions from different countries and private companies. This presents a significant opportunity for international collaboration. NASA is working with international partners such as the European Space Agency, ESA, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, and the Canadian Space Agency, CSA, to construct and operate Gateway. These partnerships are vital as part of a global effort in space exploration. Gateway will also serve as a center for scientific research. Astronauts will analyze lunar samples and study the effects of space environments. Moreover, it will provide valuable data on long-term human habitation in lunar orbit and the effects of deep space travel on the human body. These studies are critical for future long-duration missions to Mars and beyond. Another key feature is Gateway's reusability. The modules of the station can be reused for various missions, reducing costs. Additionally, solar-powered systems will provide energy efficiency and minimize environmental impact. Gateway will also act as a hub for commercial and scientific missions to the Moon. Commercial companies will be able to conduct their missions here, supporting commercial activities on the lunar surface. This offers great potential for the development of the lunar economy and the emergence of new business opportunities in space. In conclusion, the Gateway Lunar Orbit Station will be an essential part of the Artemis program and future space explorations. Serving as a preparation point for missions to the Moon and beyond, and as a center for scientific research, Gateway will herald a new era in space exploration. One of the long-term goals of the Artemis program is to establish a permanent human presence on the Moon and create sustainable living spaces there. This goal aims to use the Moon's resources to lay the groundwork for future missions to Mars and beyond. Plans for establishing permanent bases on the lunar surface present various challenges and opportunities. First, durable and reliable living spaces must be built to withstand the Moon's harsh environmental conditions. These habitats must include all necessary life support systems for astronauts to live safely and healthily. In addition to air, water, and food, factors such as radiation protection and temperature control must also be considered. Another important goal is to use natural resources found on the lunar surface. Lunar ice, in particular, is a critical resource for sustainable living on the Moon. Lunar ice can be used as drinking water, separated into oxygen and hydrogen, and used in rocket fuel production. Using these resources would make it possible to live on the Moon without having to transport materials from Earth. The bases on the lunar surface also offer great potential for scientific research. Studying the geological structure and history of the Moon can provide valuable information about the formation of the solar system. Additionally, lunar surface bases can serve as excellent observation points for astronomy and astrophysics research. Telescopes on the Moon's surface can observe the universe without the interference of Earth's atmosphere and conduct deep space research. Plans for establishing permanent bases on the Moon require various technological innovations and engineering solutions. New technologies must be developed in construction materials, life support systems, energy production, and waste management. Especially sustainable energy sources such as solar energy and nuclear energy are being focused on. These energy sources are crucial for enabling long-term living on the lunar surface. International collaboration is also an important part of plans for establishing permanent bases on the Moon. NASA is working with ESA, JAXA, and other space agencies to achieve the goal of creating sustainable living spaces on the Moon. These collaborations facilitate the sharing of resources and knowledge, leading to faster and more effective solutions. In conclusion, plans for establishing permanent bases on the Moon will herald a new era in space exploration and provide the necessary infrastructure for missions to Mars and beyond. This goal will be achieved through scientific research, technological innovations, and international collaborations, and will be a significant step for humanity's future in space. The Artemis program aims not just to return to the Moon, but also to make significant scientific and technological discoveries. In this section, we will focus on the research and innovations to be achieved through Artemis missions. A major component of the Artemis missions involves studying the geological structure and history of the Moon. Astronauts will collect samples from the lunar surface to analyze the Moon's mineral composition, volcanic activities, and past geological processes. These studies will provide valuable information about the Moon's formation and evolution, and help us better understand the history of the solar system. Investigating lunar ice at the lunar South Pole is also of great importance. Lunar ice is seen as a critical resource for sustainable living on the Moon. This ice can be used as drinking water and for obtaining oxygen and hydrogen. These materials can be used in rocket fuel production and provide the necessary resources for future space missions. Artemis missions will investigate the quantity, distribution, and accessibility of lunar ice to gather important data on this subject. The Artemis program also aims to enable extensive research through scientific facilities and laboratories to be built on the lunar surface. Astronauts will conduct various scientific experiments in these lunar surface laboratories. These experiments will lead to significant discoveries in fields such as biology, physics, chemistry, and materials science. Especially, studying the effects of space environments on human health is crucial for long-duration space missions. Technological innovations are also a major part of the Artemis program. Robotic systems, automation technologies, and artificial intelligence applications to be used on the lunar surface will usher in a new era in space exploration. These technologies will make activities on the Moon more efficient and safe. Particularly, robotic exploration vehicles will be used to explore and map the lunar surface before human missions. Energy production and management are other critical areas of the Artemis program. Solar energy systems and nuclear energy solutions to be used on the lunar surface will provide the necessary energy for creating sustainable living spaces. These energy sources will be used for both scientific research and daily life activities. The Artemis program will also bring significant innovations in construction techniques and materials science on the lunar surface. The materials and techniques used in building lunar bases will reduce dependence on materials transported from Earth and enable the use of local resources. This will also serve as important preparation for future missions to Mars and other celestial bodies. In conclusion, the Artemis program has great potential for scientific and technological discoveries. These discoveries will not only enable us to return to the Moon, but also launch a new era in space exploration and help humanity better understand the universe. The Artemis program emphasizes the importance of international collaboration in space exploration and conducts joint projects with space agencies worldwide. In this section, we will examine the program's international partnerships and the contributions of these collaborations. NASA collaborates with many international space agencies and organizations as part of the Artemis program. These partnerships play a significant role in achieving the program's goals and ensuring broader global participation in space exploration. The European Space Agency, ESA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, Canadian Space Agency, CSA, and Australian Space Agency are among the main partners of the Artemis program. ESA provides significant contributions to the Artemis program. The European Service Module, ESM, is a critical component of the Orion spacecraft. This module performs essential functions such as propulsion, energy production, and water and air supply. ESA's contributions are crucial for ensuring the safe and successful return of Orion to the Moon. JAXA supports the Artemis program by developing robotic systems and exploration vehicles for use on the lunar surface. Japan's advanced technologies will make scientific research and resource exploration on the lunar surface more effective. Additionally, JAXA contributes to the development of some modules for the Gateway Lunar Orbit Station. The Canadian Space Agency, CSA, provides support for robotic technologies and astronaut training for the Artemis program. CSA is particularly working on the next-generation robotic arm, Canadarm3, to be used in the Gateway Lunar Orbit Station. This robotic arm will play an important role in the maintenance and operations of the station. Additionally, Canadian astronauts will participate in Artemis missions, further strengthening international collaboration. The Australian Space Agency contributes to the Artemis program in communication and navigation systems. Australia's extensive antenna network will ensure that Artemis missions maintain constant communication with Earth and are guided safely. This collaboration is critical for the successful execution of Artemis missions. These international collaborations provide not only technical and scientific contributions, but also promote the sharing of knowledge and experience in space exploration. Scientists, engineers, and astronauts from different countries work together on joint projects, developing new technologies and making significant advancements in space exploration. The Artemis program demonstrates once again how important international collaborations are in space exploration. These partnerships will not only enable a return to the moon, but also allow humanity to delve deeper into space and better understand the universe. One of the core goals of the Artemis program is to bring humanity back to the moon, but its vision extends far beyond this. Artemis aims to establish a permanent human presence on the moon and lay the groundwork for future missions to Mars and beyond. In this section, we will examine the future missions and long-term goals of the Artemis program. After the Artemis III mission, NASA and its international partners will continue to work towards establishing a sustainable presence on the moon. Regular crewed and uncrewed missions will be carried out to the lunar surface to achieve this goal. These missions will ensure the continuation of scientific research and technological advancements on the moon. Future Artemis missions aim to establish permanent bases on the lunar surface. These bases will test the long-term living and working conditions for astronauts and investigate the potential for using lunar resources. These bases will be used for extracting and processing lunar ice, generating energy, and maintaining sustainable life support systems. Another important goal is to conduct human missions to Mars. The Artemis program aims to prepare for human missions to Mars by using the experiences and technologies gained on the moon. The moon will serve as a test bed for long-duration missions to Mars. Astronauts will experience long-term living and working conditions on the moon, preparing for the challenges of traveling to and from Mars. The Artemis program also aims to pave the way for exploration of other regions of the solar system. These missions will involve the exploration of asteroids and other planets. Especially, steps will be taken in developing new industries such as asteroid mining and utilizing resources in space. Future Artemis missions will further strengthen international collaboration in space research. Scientists, engineers, and astronauts from different countries will work together on joint projects, making significant advancements in space exploration. These collaborations will ensure the continuation of peaceful and sustainable exploration in space. The long-term goals of the Artemis program include creating new living spaces in space and expanding humanity's presence in space. These goals will be achieved through scientific discoveries, technological innovations, and international collaborations. Artemis will be an important step for humanity's future in space and will open new horizons for us. In conclusion, the Artemis program aims not only to return to the moon, but also to launch a new era in space exploration and bring humanity into the depths of the solar system. This vision will be supported by scientific research, technological innovations, and international collaborations shaping humanity's future in space. The Artemis program is a grand and ambitious initiative with the potential to start a new era in human space exploration. In this video, we explored the goals of the Artemis program, the progress made so far, and the exciting missions that lie ahead. Artemis aims not only to return to the moon, but also to establish a permanent presence there, laying the groundwork for human missions to Mars and beyond. This program will shape humanity's future in space through scientific discoveries, technological innovations, and international collaborations. From the search for lunar ice to the construction of permanent bases, from the Gateway Lunar Orbit Station to human missions to Mars, the Artemis program showcases the vast opportunities space offers. This journey will not only take us into the depths of space, but also bring new technologies and scientific breakthroughs that will improve life on Earth. The success of Artemis will be possible through the contributions of not just NASA, but also space agencies and private companies worldwide. These international collaborations emphasize the importance of global efforts in space exploration and show that together, we can achieve greater successes. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to learn more about this exciting program and not miss out on other space exploration content. Share your comments and questions with us below. Your thoughts inspire our future videos. See you in the next video. Let's continue our journey of exploration in the infinite depths of space together.